want to let you know that it is really, really important to show your gratitude to your ancestors. I think this is something that's not really spoken about in terms of ancestral work and in terms of receiving support, especially when you're living an abundant life, or when you start seeing changes in your life, when you reconnect with your ancestors and you see them and you can feel them you can feel them supporting you, and you can feel the changes, and you can feel really everything going your way, or your path just becoming clearer. Even though there are still obstacles, you really know what you have to do and how much you have to persist in order to get to where you want to go. So it is really important to show your gratitude when things are working out, when things are going your way, when you are really feeling their presence. Knowing that they're supporting, protecting you. You should view it as a relationship, even though it is your family, it is your grandparents, your grandfather, your grandmothers, and that, you know, in real life your grandparents are kind of like really much a lot more loving sometimes than even your parents, because they kind of have that kind of distance, in the sense that they are not going to be overbearing. They are much more understanding. They are also much more expressive of love and forgiveness and all that stuff. So you have that kind of advantage when you think about your ancestors as grandparents, living grandparents. So you may not be required to do something every day, but you very well will know when you need to do something, when they need your attention, they will remind you of, you know, of what you should do for them, or when you should do it. And I say remind you, I didn't say they will require of you. And I think that's the big difference between worshiping your ancestors and working and building a relationship with your ancestors. To me, you should never feel like your ancestors are interfering in your life in a way that you are not able to live and enjoy the life that you are having. And I say this because some people have said, depending on whatever tradition you're following, voodoo or others, they say that, or, you know, they have to be at the altar a specific time every day, some every week, and if they are at work and they're having a meeting that's going over time, then or a date or whatever, they have to rush home in order to be at that exact time at their altar. So basically, a lot of them work their own life, their own schedule around their life, around the altar, around their ancestors. And I find it really a little bit bizarre to me. Because in my tradition and how I've done and how I know what is expected of me is that my ancestors are not here to regulate my time. We have a relationship, but it's not overbearing. It's not, I'm not doing my schedule based on, you know, what they have set for me. I think it's more of a partnership where, you know, I'm doing my schedule can vary, can morph, can modify. I may not do anything this week at all, and that's okay. To me, my ancestors do understand those kind of things. They understand sometimes also that I'm lazy. You know, sometimes I will have in my dreams that, you know, I have to go and do this and that thing, and, you know, I'll be there on Sunday, you know, having a lazy Sunday and not wanting to do anything. And to me, that's okay. I've never had a time where I felt like my ancestors were angry because I didn't do this or that. I mean, I had times where I was told to do something and I decided to go my own way, and it was much more harder doing it on my own way than just listening to or taking the path that was shown to me. But that was, you know, way back when, a couple of times. But it wasn't about me, you know, staying out late like when I was a teenager, or not a teenager, I'm sorry, I never even stayed late as a teen, but when I was in college or something, like going out and then feeling like my ancestors were angry because I didn't throw some DJing, for example. So my relationship with my ancestors is very much one where it's a partnership. It's like, you know, I don't see grandma and grandpa every day. When I do see them, I'm very appreciative. I enjoy my time. I love my grandmother. Whenever I spend my time I'm around her, I really take the time to be with her. You know, I usually sleep with her when I'm back home, and I just soak up all her wisdom, all of her presence, her energy, and I just immerse myself in that. And I'm very appreciative of each moment, and I try to show my gratitude every moment that I'm with her. And also this is also why I take the knowledge I have acquired over the years very seriously and in a very sacred way. This is why also I was very reluctant at some point when it was time for me to start sharing to do so, because I was I'm well aware that this knowledge can be, you know, misconstrued and what have you, but the little that I was allowed to share is really what I wanted to share, but I share it from a place of gratitude, if I may say, in the sense that I am still very much grateful to have acquired knowledge, to have had all of the experiences that I've had, the good, the bad, and the worst, and the great, and that I have the perspective I have on the world and on people, which really humbles me, in the sense that I know there's so much more that I don't know, and in the sense that I know what I know, and I really view it as sacred. I really view it as important, whether it is just, you know, the way you plant certain seed, the way you harvest it in, the way you dry certain herbs, the way you make certain recipes, the way you interpret dreams and present them to someone else. All of the different things that I was able to learn throughout the years is really, to me, really sacred knowledge. And I know there are pieces that, you know, we can talk here on YouTube, but there are other pieces that are too sacred for me to just put it in a public space. Just like my own rituals or my own practice, there are facets of that I cannot share with the public at large, because it is really personal, because it has that side of sacredness, because it's not meant to be public, it's meant to be private. This is also why I always wondered about those Facebook groups on where people share their altars, they share their ritual, they register their ritual and things like that. Like, I wouldn't, for me, when I do a ritual, my ancestors are there, they're present, and it's like an intimate moment that I'm spending with them when I'm doing ancestral work. So it's really intimate that I wouldn't want to record it and to put that in a public place. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't go and have a party in an active church. It's just be really disrespectful. Just like you wouldn't go and party at someone else's shrine. It's just really disrespectful. I mean, to me, you know. The same way I wouldn't go and start partying in a cemetery, because you are on sacred ground. You are on the remains of others, people who came before you, unless the spirits invited you to precisely come and join them in the cemetery and do that. I think it is very disrespectful. Not that it may necessarily cause some havoc and things like that, but to me it is disrespectful. I mean, it comes down to what do you hold sacred and what you don't. And I think those days, even the term what is sacred or what is holy has really lost a lot of its meaning. People don't know anymore what's sacred, what's not. It's becoming kind of a blur for a lot of people, and I think that blur makes it very difficult for them to value certain knowledge, and this is the exact reason why certain knowledge have to be kept hidden, because some people will not value it, they will devalue it, they will crumble upon it, they will spit on it, they will do kind of things to it. So that is why it's hidden, so that only those who are really seeking that knowledge, who are really humbling themselves and who really take it as sacred, are going to receive it. This is also the same reason why, you know, not everybody is able to channel things, or is able to speak with certain entities, just because we don't have the same mindset. Not that you cannot do that by accident or by mistake or be contacted once in a blue moon. I'm talking about on a consistent basis. I'm talking about being able to go in your dreams and initiating certain things, being shown certain things, being shown certain ways of doing certain things, being shown certain places and things like that. And sometimes that knowledge that you gain when you are in that space is not for you to be sharing around or to be, blabbling your mouth about that, or for you to feel like you're special. It's really for you to have a certain understanding so you can grow within and be able to have a different experience, be able to assist people in a different way, be able to have access to tools that may not have been accessible to you before, and to be able to be more in alignment with your own purpose and what you're trying to achieve. And of course, it's very pleasurable sometimes to just realize certain things and to be in places where no one else around you has been. You have both sides. You have the side that the excitation to be there, to learn new things, to experiment new things, but at the same time you have the other side, which is, the kind of loneliness where you can't really share that with other people who won't understand it. That's why also sometimes when you go and you meet and you find other people on the internet who have had the similar experiences, who've been there, who are doing the same kind of work, it is comforting sometimes.